We ain't protecting nobody. Y'all can protect yourselves.
Everybody gets these jokes over here.
So this is crazy how far this has gone. And everything she gets said, y'all are chopping up. And I've probably done this to 1,000 famous people, so I don't knock the people who did it.
Sure.
We pick on whoever could get it.
Yeah.
What's your shirt? Anyone can get roasted. Anyone can get these jokes.
Everyone gets these jokes. That is the premise. That is the mission statement.
That is the ethos of this podcast, of our stand-up. Yeah. I don't care who you are. Yeah. You say some shit we don't like, we're gonna let you know.
You don't care about jokes. You care about being told you're right. And we all want to know, we all want to feel like we're right. I get that. But remove this identity that you just care about free speech and you just care about people being able to express themselves and everybody should get these. Remove that from your identity because that's not who you are.
Yeah.
Welcome, guys. What is going on? Today we're going to be talking about the reasons Akaash departed from the Flagrant podcast and the underlying tension between him and Andrew Schultz and the show's audience. Now, some of the key takeaways, okay? Mission statement conflict. Now, Flagrant is built on the ethos, right? That everyone can get these jokes and that no one is off limits for roasting. Now, the video argues that Akaash embraced this when he was the one doing the roasting, but struggled when the internet and the fan base turned their attention toward him and his wife, Jasmine. Now, the public backlash, okay? Let's talk about the impact of this backlash for Akaash. Now, the negative online discourse surrounding Akaash and Jasmine, which included harsh personal jokes, reportedly caused significantly distressed. While Akaash sought support, the Flagrant crew refused to actively defend him against the audience, citing their own "everyone gets these jokes" philosophy created a rift in the friendship. Right? Now, this is one thing that we have seen between Akaash and Andrew, and this is one thing that you've seen coming for a while now. These guys haven't really seen eye to eye for a while, and this was honestly the domino. This was the last domino that it took for all this to fall down, right? Now, am I surprised that Akaash actually left Flagrant? Yes, I am indeed. I know that he got roasted on the internet. I did not expect him to back out of Flagrant, in my opinion. It really caught me off guard when he did, because they did that whole interview where his wife was on there and she was trying to make things better and mend fences, but honestly, she just made everything worse. Like Charlemagne said, and I don't agree with everything Charlemagne says, but why would your wife have a podcast, right? If you're a known podcaster, why are you giving your wife a podcast when she's not even in the same entertainment realm, right? So she doesn't understand how entertainment works. The whole thing is that she says she was trolling, which part of me says she was trolling. Part of me thinks that there was a lot of realness to what she said. And she said a lot of crazy stuff that if I was Akaash, I wouldn't be mad at the fans, right? Because the fans are only doing what she allowed them to do. She went online and she said all that crazy stuff about her wanting threesomes, her wanting to sleep with other guys. Akaash, come on, man. Some things you can't let slide. Like, some things you have to hold people accountable for. And this is one of those things, right? She's obviously one of those, like internet attention, like craving. She just craves the attention that Akaash has, and she wants that for herself. And obviously it backfired bad. And part of me thinks that this was a planned rollout. As crazy as it sounds, part of me thinks that Akaash was in on this. Like, he knew all the crazy stuff she was going to say, and he was fine with it because he thought that it was going to work.
Anyone can get roasted. Anyone can get these jokes.
Everyone gets these jokes.
I was popping my and living my best life in these white boy frat houses, and I had a roster of guys that I would rotate through.
I don't care who you are. You say some shit we don't like, we're gonna let you know.
But, the experience has put things in perspective for him. He is going to be stepping away from the pod.
So because Akaash wasn't getting the support that he thought he was obligated because of everything he was going through, he pretty much decided to leave the podcast, right? And this is the thing, right? Akaash, when the jokes weren't aimed at you, you had no problem getting down and dirty in the mud, right? You were saying all types of jokes, especially when Schultz was going at Kendrick. Kendrick, you were sitting there like a good little lapdog saying, yes, sir, that's real funny, sir, ha, ha, ha. But now the jokes are aimed at you. You don't like that, huh? And honestly, in my opinion, this whole thing would have blew over if Akaash, like, bro, he didn't have to leave. honestly, in maybe like a month, no, when I was saying a month, but a couple months to a year, maybe a year or two, nobody's gonna care about this again, right? The internet always forgets, but how can they forget when you give them a reason to come back to the same situation, right? You leaving the podcast is gonna make things 10 times worse. Hence why people like me are talking about this, okay? Now, the silent exit, unlike other hosts who might have had a farewell formula, Akaash exited quietly, which you know, it shows the consequences of him being unable to reconcile his public identity as a comedian with his personal hurt regarding the show's content. Now, he's a comedian, his job is to make people laugh, but of course, when the jokes are at him, he doesn't like it, right? And of course, he's not gonna sit there on that podcast and listen to Schultz and everybody else make jokes about him and his wife. He's too sensitive, right? And honestly, bro, I wish I could say it's sad, but Akaash, this is what you get, right? For bragging for years about, oh, how your wife is a virgin, your wife never slept with anybody, she never did anything, you're the first. And for her to go online and said, hey, I did this, I got ran through, I did this, but Akaash is the nice guy.
Like, everything I say is so amplified and hyperbolic because it's so like incongruous to who I actually am as a person.
Right.
I'm a hustler who scams a little bit. I'm not a scammer who
I'm not
hustles.
gonna lie, that was sexy, and that's why I'm actively trying to have an orgy. Wait.
Okay, what the fuck was that joke? Because I think for a lot of people, myself included, like I saw that and I was like, why would she even joke around about that? Yeah.
Stupidly, I was like, oh, it's an orgy, so it's all of us. It's not like
Yeah,
talking.
that is stupid.
Yeah.
I say you're being inclusive. You're being
I
inclusive.
thought, I thought I was being
It's
inclusive.
not a roti.
What? What shadow realm? What matrix? What world do we live in? And this is the problem with the internet, right? Not everybody has self-control. And that's the problem. When you get on the internet, you have to be responsible and you have to have self-control, or else you're going to be digging bigger holes. And it's crazy because every hole she dug, it's not like it affected her, it affected her husband. Now he has to go on other podcasts, and while he's on tour, he has to address all this stuff. Honestly, man. Well, look, let me know how you guys feel down in the comments below. I mean, I'm not gonna say that Akaash is the victim, because like I said, it was all this was his making. It's all his fault. But how do you guys feel in the comments? How do you guys feel for Akaash? What do you guys think, man? Will Akaash ever be able to recover from this? And if he does recover, do you guys actually see him coming back onto the Flagrant podcast? Honestly, I don't know if we're done with all this drama yet, but hopefully we get some more stuff, man. There's never a dull moment on the internet. But anyway, you guys have a great day. Stay safe. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. I'm out.